So, you've got your degree. All of the late nights, group projects, and research rabbit holes have led to this moment. So, what's next? Well, congratulations. You're now connected to more than 200,000 University of Wollongong alumni across the globe. From Bega to Beijing, Sydney to Singapore, UOW graduates are shaping industries, leading communities, and tackling our world's most important challenges. As a UOW graduate, not only do you join a vibrant network of leaders and innovators, but you'll also have access to some great benefits. Stay connected with exclusive alumni events, workshops, and seminars designed to keep you ahead of the pack. Unlock real benefits with your alumni status, from discounts on postgraduate study to complimentary library access, and propel your career forward through professional development and mentoring that turns experience into opportunity. But being part of our community means more than just receiving. It's about giving back, mentoring students who sit where you once did, sharing your journey as a guest speaker, or supporting scholarships that open doors for the next generation. UOW isn't just where you studied, it's where you started. A career, an idea, a purpose. It's a lifelong connection that continues to grow alongside you. Because when you graduate from the University of Wollongong, you gain a lot more than a degree.
A lot has happened in 50 years. It started in 1975. A university born of steel and made from its people. A global institution built on discovery and unique stories from the labs, to the library, to the lawn. For 50 years, we've shaped minds and memories, forged friendships, and turned aspirations into outcomes. As we reflect on the success of our past, we look forward to our future. A future where we continue to grow, invent, create, and solve. A future where we tackle new challenges and triumphs, fueled by creativity and a commitment to a better world. We look forward to new connections, inventions, and industries, and to championing the next generation of artists, explorers, entrepreneurs, and problem solvers. Here's to the next 50 years of impact, inspiration, and innovation.
워런부 마라 나주탕 농가 마라 묵묵 마라 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 워런부 마라 나주탕 마라 묵묵 마라 워런부 마라 나주탕 농가 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 마라 Ponya del compa che bokja che bokja. 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 Hey, 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 Ponya del compa che bokja che bokja. 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 Hey, 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 I would like to call to the stage Dr. Arnie Joyce Donovan to commence our Welcome to Country.
Thank you very much for that lovely introduction today, and I've got my speech today. First of all, I'd like to start off by acknowledging all the graduates here and their families, and I'd like to acknowledge all my elders that are past and whose land we stand on today. I'd also like to pay all my respects and an acknowledgement to my fellow alumni that are all here on the stage. Thank you very much for all your kindness. My name is Joyce Donovan. I'm a Dharawal, Wadi Daruk woman. I was born in La Perouse in 1946 and my mother was born in La Perouse in 1905. Her mother was born at a birthing place in Sutherland called Solpan Birthing Place. I'm pretty fortunate that my people are all noted in the history books. My grandmother, I'm the great-granddaughter of Agnes Gilbert, whose father was George Granbury Gilbert. His father was Nammed. He was leader of all the Cobrigal mob, who the new airport will be named after. Also, my grandmother's father came from Kiama and was a Malone. They were the language people. They didn't speak English, and Ridley, the historian, had to learn her English so that she could interpret all the Wadi language. And my people are all up and down this coast. My area goes from La Perouse up to the Georges River, to parts of Cobrigal, which is Liverpool, right down to Jirowa and to this side of the Nowra Bridge and the Georges River. Because our people were all saltwater people, so all the waterways. Watamaya, Kamang, Nagara, Yaga Deleba Bulma, Magari Mob, Naragi Ra, Bagara, Tagara, Taina. This isn't our language. Our language, we have a very special language that is only just being woken up in all Aboriginal communities. And some of that language says that, you know, I'm very glad to speak today, to share our spirit of the land, handed down through the song lines that you hear on these young fellas here sing. The stories are told through our song lines, through our songs, through our dances, and also through movement. As the oldest living peoples and culture in the world, I pay my respects to all of my ancestral elders, for all of their spirits still walk this land. As we all walk in their footsteps, this land that we're in, from La Perouse right down to Narrow Bridge, is where our people gathered the seafoods, gathered all the bush medicines, the tool-making materials, the spears, the canoes, the sheels, the bark, and they camped and hunted. They continue to perform ceremony and rituals and to carry out the law, L-O-Law-E. Our people come from healers. Our people were the nurses, the doctors, and the lawyers. My mother was a healer. Our people, they carried a lot of responsibility, but our people were very, very healthy. You know, not many people know that a lily pilly's got 60% more vitamin C than an orange. A lot of people know now that the fat content of kangaroo is virtually nil. Everybody knows about the omega-3 in fish, which was part of our stable diets. As we all gather here today, may we all celebrate in the presence of Tangatana Raja in dance by the boys, Magara Mab Narigi in the song that they sing. Bayabas, as we speak, may we all remember and be reminded of our rich, continuous Aboriginal culture and heritage and the spirit of the dreaming. Yesterday, today and tomorrow. This is a place where no matter where you go, the bush was like one big chemist. We still use, I'm a nurse, I'm a very, very proud nurse. And you know, as a nurse, I believe in all the great specialists and the nursing system and evidence-based backup. But I also believe in spiritual healing. And I believe some of our spiritual healing is the same as the placebo effect that we use in medicine. You know, our people are the sickest and the poorest people in the world. We need health professionals. We need use of the people and the law faculty our people will be seeing. So it's very important that when Aboriginal people approach or go to healthcare services, and no matter what country you come from, what religion, that people are respected. Because I think together we can make a difference. So on behalf of the Dharawal Wadi Darug peoples, I'd like to say welcome to each and every person here and congratulations to all the graduates. Thank you.
Auntie Joyce. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Professor Mark Hoffman. I am the Interim Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Academic and Student Life at the University of Wollongong, and I'm delighted to be your Master of Ceremonies today. I'd like to begin by acknowledging our Indigenous Strategy Unit and our local Aboriginal community. Their leadership brings to life a vision for an inclusive, reconciled and united Australia. Through this graduation ceremony, we recognise that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are the knowledge holders of country. Today's celebration is grounded in the spirit of cultural healing, with the powerful artwork by Auntie Lorraine Brown and Auntie Narelle Thomas from the Kumaduchi United Aboriginal Corporation, which you will see woven throughout today's event. It is a reminder of connection, culture and community. Thank you for joining us here today on this special occasion. Please ensure your phones are on silent. To our graduates, congratulations on your big day. Graduation is a proud and emotional milestone for you and for us as an institution. Thank you for being part of UOW's story and now its legacy. You've shown resilience and resolve through some extraordinary times, and you now step into a world you're already helping to shape. Today, we also honour your families, friends and supporters. Your success is theirs too. This year is a particularly poignant celebration as we mark the 50th anniversary of our university. Anniversaries invite reflection, but they also ask a question. What comes next? And that's where you and your talents come in. The future is yours to define. I'd like to congratulate you again. Let's hear it for our graduates. Now, if you are able to, please stand for an instrumental version of the Australian National Anthem. Please be seated. I would now like to introduce the Chancellor, the university's highest official, to give the congratulatory address.
Graduates, families, friends, supporters and colleagues, welcome to this graduation ceremony. As the presiding officer, I am delighted and truly honoured to be here with you today. It is one of the great highlights of my role to witness students celebrate this milestone. I begin too by paying my respects to Aboriginal elders, past, present, and acknowledge their continued spiritual and cultural connection to the lands on which the University of Wollongong campuses are located. And as I look over this marvellous sea of gowns, and I congratulate each and every one of you, our graduating students, I need no reminder that you are the very reason that we do what we do. Graduation time is a very special occasion for all of us. The teaching and professional staff, for your families, supporters, but especially for you, our graduates. Many of you will be the first in family to graduate from university. Some have had to move away from their home to study. Others have overcome personal challenges to be able to finish your degrees. Whatever your story is, today marks a tremendous achievement. This ceremony is the culmination of years of hard work, personal sacrifice, and your commitment. And I hope you feel a deep sense of pride that will take this moment to reflect on your achievements. Of course, the time for celebration is important, and I hope you will soak up every minute of it. But I emphasise that today is not a conclusion. It is a beginning with endless possibilities lying ahead of you. May each of you capture these feelings of pride, hope, and anticipation for the future and take them with you as you leave this university. Graduation is also an opportunity to thank those who made your achievements possible: your family, your friends, your mentors, your supporters, and of course your teachers. This is a special moment for them too, and I'm sure they are extremely proud of how far you've come. Today we acknowledge the important role they have played and invite them to share in your success. Many of those important people are here with you today, so treasure today. As you travel through life, you will remember it fondly. As we celebrate your individual triumphs, let us also reflect on the collective strides we have made as an institution in fostering equity and access in higher education. The University of Wollongong is proud to champion initiatives that expand access to learning for underrepresented groups. And as our data shows, each year we have more students proudly identifying as Indigenous, not only beginning their studies, but also graduating. UOW medical graduates, for instance, are 1.5 times more likely to work in rural and regional areas than those from other medical schools. These are outcomes that we can all be proud of. In this, our 50th anniversary year, we are reminded of UOW's global influence, a beacon of excellence with international footprint that spans continents and indeed cultures. Between our campuses along the Illawarra and our growing presence abroad, in the United Arab Emirates, in Hong Kong, China, Malaysia, and now in Gift City in India, we have a community of over 35,000 students, alumni totaling 200,000 from almost 200 countries. Our success as an institution is seen through our wonderful graduates, our people, and especially in our valued partnerships, local, regional, and of course international. Together, we are working to solve the big questions facing society, and we strive for a better quality of life, for a better future for generations wherever they are. And today you are joining this community of UOW graduates. I hope you'll cherish this family connection, and I hope it will bring lifelong value and enjoyment, whether through further study or as a proud UOW ambassador. I encourage you to maintain this connection and with the university and with your fellow students. The relationships you have formed during your time here will be invaluable to you in years to come. The completion of your studies here places you among the most employable graduates in Australia, and indeed the world. The success of our graduates is one of the many reasons our university enjoys such a strong reputation and is ranked among the top 1% of universities globally. I hope that you will forever feel proud to be part of this, your university. The transformation you make today from student to graduate is a significant opportunity to establish your priorities, take stock and focus on your future, while also leveraging all that you have learned both academically and about life during your time here. As you embark on the next chapter of your journey, may you carry forth the lessons learned, the friendships forged, and the dreams ignited during your time here at UOW. Remember, you are not just graduates. You are the future leaders, innovators, change makers, all poised to make your unique contribution to society. It has been our privilege to have witnessed and played our part in your growth. The world awaits you, and I have every confidence that you will rise to meet its challenges with courage, compassion, and curiosity. But may I leave you with just a few reflections. Firstly, find something, whether it be a career, a calling, a profession, to which you want to apply yourself wholeheartedly. Don't be lukewarm. Life is too precious. Secondly, develop a multidisciplinary mindset. Yes, you have studied and you've gained a particular skill, and this is good. But full development of your potential, your contribution to humanity, to freedom, to democracy, requires more than that. So be lifelong learners, read widely, engage globally. And lastly, use your intelligence, your skills, your growing leadership to fight the destructive power of narrowness, wherever you see it. Raise your sights, take others on your journey of expansiveness and of inclusion. Be bold. You came here to study and to grow because you believed that you have a place in building a better world for yourselves and for others. Now, today, with the success you have achieved, you can have faith that you can now go forward and do so. My very best wishes and congratulations to each and every one of you graduates. May you celebrate a very happy and memorable graduation day, and thank you for making us proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor. It is now my great pleasure to commence the presentation of graduates. Now I would like to introduce the Acting Executive Dean, Professor Heath Ackroyd, to present the graduates of to the Chancellor for the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health.
Thank you, Professor Hoffman. It's my great pleasure to be here with you celebrating with our graduates today, and I must say you all look amazing. We are very proud of you, and I wish to convey my personal congratulations to each of our graduates. Will the graduates who are to be presented with undergraduate and postgraduate awards from the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health, please stand if you are able. Chancellor, I present to you the graduates to receive awards from the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health.
And in the name of the Council and by my authority as Chancellor, I confirm your admission to the awards for which you have qualified.
Graduates, please be seated. Now, as the graduates come up, I'd like to encourage supporters to stand and clap as your graduate is called. We ask that you remain in the ceremony until it concludes.
Eliza Ashlyn Beryl. Ethan Beryl. Ashley Bourne. Isabel Baumer. Ella Berger. Elizabeth Isabel Cowden. Holly Marie Cunningham. Nevin D'Souza. Liam Dennis. Aidan Flynn. Adam Robert Fraser. V.D. Gohill. Thomas Grant. Emma Laura Harrison. Olivia Hatch. James Hicks. Jordan Michael Humphreys. Brody Thomas Jelliff. Harrison Bruce Long. Benjamin Malconnect. Angela Mateo. Harry John Nicholson. Hannah Pukitima Nosavan. James Nunn. Godfrey Okaranyang. Corey James Pencil. Damien Premovich. Joshua Isaac Quinn. Jeremy Antonio Remolino. Yuan Rivera. Eden Elise Rout. Cassandra Annalise Socorro. William James Bamford Stacy. Farah Staniforth. Christina Margarita Stefanu. Emma Thorncraft. Shantae Tona. Dimitrios Voros. Sarah Louise Walters. Kyra Ezra Yagmore. Heidi Astridge. Keely Brown. Daisy Quinn Canavan. Kali Kavdarovsky. Callum John Faulkner. Philip John Hanratty. Cameron Moses. Hannah Omari. Tilly Rose Rood. Aisha Tornyi Aiden. Alicia Wijaya. Jordan Joseph Chavarella. Annalise Evans. Riley Thomas Taylor. Michaela Webb. Gemma K. Cornateg. Ella Dent. Alexis Kate Elvey. Rachel Long. Alyssa Parks. Sarah Janet Pearson. Eden Alexandra Smith. Hamish Owen Taylor. Karandeep Singh. Napon Barikam. Jacinta Rogers. Hadi Abdul Hamid. Enya Rose Bailey. Taylor Alexandra Bempton. Hayley Louise Bell. Holly Rose Denny. Bohannon Edwards. Aisha Wafa Elmir. Eleanor G. Zahide Gunesh. Connor Jai David Kelly. Faria Khan. Pukar Khatri. Ethan Jeffrey Lee. Olivia McDonald. Sarah Elizabeth McFarn. Mary Glazelle Brighton Medrano. Taylor Caitlin Moffat. Natalie Loki Ung. Emily Joan O'Brien. Astella Tesfamichael Okubazki. Darcy Patrick Rankin. Lawson Jack Reedy. Liam Ashley Ring. Martina Victoria Ruzinov. Shivangani Shukla. Hunter Francina Simpson. Kayla Stone. Brandon Andrew Troth. Alexander Haralambos Sigros. Denham Tyler Walker. Elizabeth Mary Young. Amruta Joy. Miranda Blades. Courtney Brown. William Burns. Charlotte Rose Claw. Michaela Erdely. Charlie Hosking. Grace Lorna Middleton. Shane William Pavitt. Elana Petrovich. Noor ul Eman Tahir. Jasmine Talakovsky. Richard Mark Walsh. Nikki Lee Wilder. Rashindin Yasin Zaharia Zaleh. Chloe Catherine Kennedy. Zoe Lee Chater. Bethany Curry. Rebecca Esaid. Sonia Gabuja. Kate Eilish Hutchison. Kayla Innes. Sandra Nuquin Le. Emily Sigulko. Chloe Elizabeth Smith. Holly Simone Switzer. Christina May Videla. Hannah Eve Zweck. Tatspita Ilyandra Ganisa. Corey Leanne McMaster. Yasmin Mystery. Sarah Davies. Abir Kerala. Sevasti Sue Melakos. Hannah Claire McCarthy Morgan. Tan Xuan Tracy Huang Nguyen. Jada Petrov. Holly Watson Rinky. Piper Louise Rudd. Charlie Imogen Russell. Sonali Sonia Singh. Devshri Sinha. Natalie Sukar. Freya Sage Turnbull Holmes. Rhea Sky Twyford. Omar Abuela. Olivia Bayer. Arwin Gabrielle Baker. Liam Buckman. Amy Louise Cox. Emma Margaret Davies. Hannah Lily Davies. Brendan Joshua Diaz. Lauren Frawley. Sienna Gates. Shamika G.C. Shelley Madeline Groves. Miriam Helen Hall. Hein Tet Zin. Kieran Hennig. Kirsten Dana Jovanovski. Luna Ramsey Sliba Kako. Kobe Leanne Cockin. Bella Lim. Charmaine Martinez. Piper Grace Marshall. Stephen David Marshall. Ella McPhillamy. Tabitha Murray. Tanea Haley Nikovsky. Grishma Nirola. Michaela Jordan Peacock. Sienna Crystal Petreski. Elizabeth Rutledge. Daniel Sanji. Casey Lee Scoble. Liam Samuel Smith. Sophie Stanfield. Sotiriana Tropoulos. Taylor Ann Wagner. Grace Catherine Ward. Jada Louise Way. Jonty Nicholas Westbrook. Amy Frances Whelan. Madeline May Adams. Nimna Vishvani Alvis. Rachel Carrier. Mona Lisa Chavakitnam Siri McDonald. Jack Rory Cheshire. Hamish Cook. Anna Philippa Feltman. David William Foster. Caitlin Rose Gallagher. Clayton Hager. Brandon Henderson. Liam Hewitt. Zane Jacobs. Braden Alexander Laval. Elena Morta. Felicity Jackson Miller. Jasper Mutika. Chanel Anella Muller. Nicholas William Paslow. Charles Leon Pinsey. Jade Pratley. Darius Kyle Ratty. Joseph Ruffsedge. Monica May Saywell. Sumaya Shields. Jasmine Trajeski. Thomas Jack Ventilberg. James Waterfield. Kayla Monique Wilson. Henry Wright. Tabitha Rachel Zweck. Emily Elise Abbott. Thomas Mark Basher. Tegan Amy Edwards. Lachlan Gilchrist. Lara Jane Keir. Emma Elizabeth Madden. Millicent Rose Mansfield Pyle. Jewel Philippa Matthews. Brooklyn Mullen. Brooke Palmer. Zoe Parker. Eliza Grace Shembry. Serena Monique Woolner. Ben Roger Williams. Stella May Young. Ruby May Young. Rat Brody. Xavier Harry Smith. Angus Harvey William Bullerman. Aidan David Compton. Olivia Angela Rigoli. Cameron Isabel Carter. Meni Kalu. Lavinia Stokes. Meg Emery. Jackson Richard Moore Allen. Rebecca Asquith. Braden Jelly. Jesse Todd Payton. Jade Elise Stein. Harry Elvin Langford. Angus Declan Walton. David Arnold. Thomas Donald Abeja. Keely Johanna Lennon. Claudia Lucia Curcio. Josephine Martin. Dylan Norris. Renee Ann Buggy. Neve Anais Christopher. Stephanie Marie Heddich. Audrey Hulley. Jessica Lee Merritt. Callan John Reynolds. Chloe Ann Hildebrand. Nadine Ann Kellerman. Alexandra Louise Shanahan. Jenna Rose Annis. Imogen Barrett. Emily Butterfant. Hannah Crinnion. Isabel Crow. Ashley Darvell. Chantel Caitlin Emery. Alia Naya Ghaznavi. Danielle N. Grew. Ebony Hall. Celine Carnos. Lena Kartinova. Claudia Konza. Pooja Sanjayshni Kumar. Madeline Kelly Levin. Ilan Liu. Jara Johnston Manning. Natalie Tan. Gemma Catherine Williams. Elise Anna Beaumont. Anna Grace Cohen. Karen Lee Harrison. Alexandra Marie Walsh.
Chancellor, I take great pleasure in presenting the recipients of the 2024 University Medals. The University Medal is awarded for outstanding performance and to the highest achieving students as determined by their academic performance across their entire undergraduate degree. For the University Medal in the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health for their bachelor degree, for the Bachelor of Medical and Health Sciences Honours in 2024, Dylan Carter. For the Bachelor of Medical Biotechnology Honours, Dean Scholar in 2024, Carly Margaret Elizabeth Frank.
We will be continuing with the presentation of awards shortly. Now I would like to introduce our musical item for today. It is my pleasure to introduce Sandon Groves. This week, Sandon graduates with an honours in psychology from UOW and is continuing his academic journey by pursuing a Master of Clinical Psychology. Beyond his impressive academic achievements, Sandon is a gifted local musician who has been celebrating and sharing his talents with us at UOW graduation ceremonies since 2022. As we continue to celebrate UOW's 50th anniversary, please enjoy a selection of graduation photos from over the decades. Please join me in welcoming Sandon, who is going to perform Here Comes the Sun. Sandon.
Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 Little darling, I see the ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. It's
Thanks, Sandon. We will now continue the presentation of awards for the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health.
Barbara Ann Brennan. Kerendi Clark. Daniel Coe. Marnie Laree Davis. Kira Lana May Edwards. Annabelle Mifsud. Muntasir Bila. Rebecca Louise Caster. Luke George Humphreys Opsiland. Kaylin Karatash. Tarneet Kaur. James Mosunuto. Kiran Balu Pawar. Harrison Towns. Sana Zubair. Ashlyn Garrett. Siobhan Brielle Bellamy O'Brien. Jasvinda Kaur. Irene Anthony. Onyinye Julia Ezequem. Anup Kumar. Anchal Jayesh Joshi. Saeed Atzmat Ali. Maria Ben. Anmol Batarai. Nisha Dakal. Meen Kumari Gale. Zainab Mahmoud Jabbar. Anika Bushra Mumita. Bimsara Medhankari Jayalal Puswaldanya. Kimbang Rai. Ivana Sadia. Jennifer Carroll. Talagalage Tisala Subhashini Tisanyake. Aquilina Katsi. Duk An Le. Shraddha Shrestha. Diksha Kumari. Siryana Sharma. Shakya Gunatilake. Zachary Sterling Wade. Samantha Louise Dean. Sasha Dreyer. Natalie Angela Fabal. Josephine Giovanna Ferrari. Nisanor Gabakan. Brandon James Hughes. Patricia Ann Madigan. Sophie Louise Marsano. Sayuri Shindo. Bianca Smith. Sarah Ann Sutherland. Jody Thompson. Yang Wang. Renee Louise Zapia. Safira Bryan. Lana Gabrielle Vicentin.
Chancellor, I present to you from the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health, for the Masters of Earth and Environmental Sciences, Abdullah Shah. It is now with great pleasure that I announce our doctoral award recipients today. Will the graduates who are to be presented with doctoral awards from the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health please stand if you are able. Chancellor, I present to you the doctoral graduates from the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health, who, by reason of their thesis and other work at the university, have met the requirements for admission for doctoral degrees.
And by the authority of Council and my authority as Chancellor, I admit you to the doctoral degrees for which you are qualified.
Chancellor, I present to you for their doctoral degrees, for their exploration into the structural effects of surface-bound dyes towards electron transfer kinetics in dye-sensitised solar cells, Dr. Mantra Diendalia. For their study into the impact of combination therapies on graft versus host disease and graft versus leukemia disease, Dr. Chloe Rose Sliger. For their study investigating the impacts of sublethal pesticide exposure on the central bearded dragon, Pagonga vitseps, Dr. Isabella Chloe Contador Kelsel. For their study into high-resolution geomorphic mapping of over 20 oceanic volcanoes to better understand long-term seascape evolution in the Southwest Pacific, Dr. Alicia Meyer-Johnson. For their study into the luminescence characteristics of quartz grains to help improve the accuracy of OSL dating, Dr. Rosaria Byrne-Saktura. For their exploration of plant-based treatments for mild cognitive impairment, focusing on inflammation and oxidative stress, Dr. Naomi Marie May. For their exploration of the energy regulating mechanisms of nuts and their implications for nutrition labelling, Dr. Cassandra J. Nikodijevic. For their study into the development of 3D bioprinted models to study human sensory neurons and skin for biomedical applications, Dr. Mitchell Blake St Clair Glover. For their exploration into solutions to reduce diet-related health inequities in people experiencing socio-economic disadvantage, Dr. Verena Teresa Vichuragas. For their exploration of injury patterns and injury preventions in youth elite footballers, Dr. Stella Veit. For their exploration into lifestyle-related, brain health-focused care for multiple sclerosis, Dr. Olivia Charlotte Wills. For their study into genetic therapeutics for the treatment of motor neuron disease, Dr. Kristen Gemma Chisholm. For their investigation into the use of anti-P2X7 biologics to reduce graft versus host disease, Dr. Amal El-Haj. For their exploration of cross-linking chemistry in coordination polymers, Dr. Mitchell George Fishburne. For their study of urban mosses and the impact of urbanisation, shade and water availability, Dr. Alison Michelle Haynes. For their exploration into engineered stem cell-derived heart models for cardiotoxicity screening and maturation using piezoelectric stimulation, Dr. Emma Claire James. For their study into transboundary mercury supply networks and contamination, informing strategies to reduce pollution, while considering ASGM communities' socio-economic realities, Dr. Dominic Kapokro. For their study into the development of a 3D bioprinting model to improve vascular growth for islet transplantation for type 1 diabetes, Dr. Anna Kulgatlaga. For their study into a 100,000-year-old South African Stone Age technology, which has demonstrated that humans adapted to changing climates through flexible technological strategies, Dr. Corey Allen O'Driscoll. For their exploration into the development of a 3D bioprinting system for wound healing applications, Dr. Eileen Ruby Stacey. For their study into the early molecular mechanisms of Alzheimer's disease using patient-derived neurons, Elena Targadias Anastasio. For the exploration into the impact of electrostimulation biomaterials and 3D printing on neural tissue, Dr. Danielle Warren. Chancellor, I would now like to present the candidate to be admitted as an Emeritus Professor of the University. Will Professor Colin Woodroffe please come forward and stand next to the Chancellor? Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present Professor Colin Woodroffe. Outstanding scholarship is not measured solely by the discoveries made, but by the knowledge it shares and the minds it inspires, and the foundations it lays for the future understanding. Over more than 4 decades, Professor Colin Woodroffe has made landmark contributions that have transformed our understanding of coastal environments and sea level change. An inspirational tutorial at Cambridge set Colin on a path that would take him far from his native England to study tropical coasts around the world. After early positions at Sheffield and Auckland, he was drawn to the unique history of Australia's coastal environments, spending 5 years at ANU's North Australia Research Unit in Darwin, studying the environmental history of tidal rivers in the Kakadu region. In 1988, he joined the University of Wollongong, where he would build his distinguished career, exploring the dynamic relationships between land and sea from the Cayman Islands to coral atolls across the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Professor Woodruff's early work studying the geomorphology of mangroves and coral reef shorelines provided insight that remains central to coastal sciences. When a near-fatal accident in 1994 curtailed his fieldwork, he demonstrated remarkable resilience, reskilling in geospatial analysis and continuing to advance his field. Professor Woodruff's achievements include nearly 300 publications, including 4 books. His seminal textbook, Coasts, Form, Process and Evolution, has shaped teaching and research worldwide. Through innovative methods, such as reconstructing sea level histories using coral microatolls, he has established a critical understanding of how coastal systems respond to environmental change. Professor Woodruff's expertise gained international recognition when he was invited to serve as lead author for the coastal chapter of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change's 4th Assessment Report, contributing to work that earned the Nobel Peace Prize in 2007. The breadth of his impact is reflected in prestigious awards, including the 2023 David Linton Award from the British Society of Geomorphology and the 2012 R.J. Russell Award from the Association of American Geographers. Equally significant is his dedication to mentoring the next generation of scientists. As director of the Quaternary Environments Research Centre and supervisor of more than 25 PhD candidates, he has supported and inspired students who now hold academic positions around the world. Through his teaching in coastal environments and geographical information systems, Colin has shaped how generations of students understand the dynamic interface between land and sea. Professor Colin Woodruff's career embodies the university's commitment to research excellence, international collaboration, and the development of future scholars. His legacy in coastal science will continue to inform how we understand and manage our changing coastlines for generations to come. Chancellor, it is my privilege to present Professor Colin Woodruff for admission as an Emeritus Professor.
Professor Woodruff, in the name of the Council and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit you as a Professor Emeritus of the University of Wollongong.
It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Professor Colin Woodruff to you again today to give the occasional address. Please join me in welcoming again Professor Colin Woodruff.
Chancellor, members of the University, graduates, distinguished guests, friends and family. I'm honoured to address you today and to congratulate you, graduates, on this momentous occasion. The 5 Islands Dreaming recalls how the 5 islands just off our coast came about. I have had the privilege to visit many islands to investigate how they have changed. I'd like to pay my respects to the elders of the people of the 5 Islands Dreaming. I'd like to acknowledge all those who have contributed to our accumulated knowledge. My achievements have only been possible because of the guidance and encouragement, continuing encouragement, of some remarkable mentors. Your achievements today build on the experience of your teachers and the broader scientific community. And I would like, graduates, on your behalf, to express gratitude to them. And to friends and family, some of whom are here to proudly share this celebration with you, for their support. I hope that in addition to your degree, the University of Wollongong has been a source of inspiration. The University of Wollongong is celebrating its 50th anniversary. 50 years ago, I was graduating at the University of Cambridge, where I'd been inspired by a geographical tradition extending from Charles Darwin to David Attenborough, and including the charismatic professor who taught me. When Darwin arrived in Australia, he had not formed his ideas on evolution. But what excited him was his theory of coral reef development. Sailing across the Pacific, he wondered whether volcanic islands might gradually subside and the coral reefs around them gradually grow up until all that was left was a ring of coral, a coral atoll. The only atoll that Darwin visited was the Cocos Keeling Islands, now an Australian territory. There he saw coconut trees that had been undercut and were falling into the sea, and considered this tolerably conclusive evidence of his theory of subsidence. John Clunies Ross, who was resident on the island, when he read Darwin's book, was outraged at the suggestion that the islands he'd just occupied were about to disappear beneath the sea. And he wrote that there is ample evidence that these islands have been above the sea for hundreds, if not thousands, of years. Our research on the Cocos Keeling Islands has shown that those islands have been there for several thousand years. The concern now is not that the land is going down, but that the sea is going up. Over the past 50 years, the scientific community has developed increasingly sophisticated interpretations of the substantial changes and the geographical variability of sea level through a sequence of ice ages. For example, 20,000 years ago, the Illawarra shoreline was more than 100 metres lower and 10 kilometres further east than where it is now. Tide gauges, and more recently satellites, indicate that the sea is rising, not as part of the long-term changes of the Earth's orbit that drove the ice ages, but as a result of global warming. The more we think we know, the more apparent becomes that simple answers require more complex explanation. Undercut coconuts on a coral atoll, the severely eroded Gold Coast beaches following Cyclone Alfred earlier this year are reminders of the power of the sea. They reflect short-term responses indicating the vulnerability of our shorelines, but they need to be placed in a longer-term context to fully understand how our coastlines might respond in future and to better manage them. Today, we have access to enormous amounts of information, unimaginable 50 years ago, and synthesising it is a daunting task. But that has been the role of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Successive IPCC assessments involve hundreds of scientists who synthesise and review the up-to-date research that's been published to produce some consensus on our changing climate and its impacts. They go through, they're extensively reviewed, they're continually revised, they're vetted by governments, and they're overseen by the United Nations. Science involves an inquiring mind and a healthy scepticism. My experience with the IPCC has indicated that the progress that we can make when we work together. I trust that your experiences at the University of Wollongong have given you a thirst for knowledge, and I encourage you to continue to take advice from those who you regard as leaders in your field. I thank the university for conferring on me an emeritus professorship. I am honoured and humbled. I again congratulate all graduates for the achievements for which you have been recognised today. I wish you all exciting and fulfilling futures. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Woodruff, for your inspiring reflections. Now I would like to call upon Carly Fank to give the vote of thanks. Carly is graduating from the Bachelor of Medical Biotechnology Honours Dean Scholar at the University of Wollongong. Her academic excellence has been recognised through consistent placement on the Dean's Merit List from 2022 to 2024, as well as receiving the School of Chemistry and Molecular Bioscience Second Year Prize in 2023 and the Medical Biotechnology Third Year Prize in 2024. Beyond the classroom, Carly was a part of the interdisciplinary team that won first place at the 2022 UOW Science Interprofessional event for their innovative solution to microplastics pollution. She has also contributed to the university community as a volunteer Learning Lab assistant in 2023. In recognition of her academic achievements and commitment to community engagement, Carly was awarded the Tyne and Family Molecular Horizons Honours Scholarship in 2024. Please welcome Carly.
Chancellor, members of the university, distinguished guests, fellow graduates, family and friends. It is my honour to stand before you today and deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of my fellow graduates. Firstly, to the graduates of 2024, congratulations. I know many of us thought that this day would never come. We counted down the weeks left of semester, crossed off assignments in our calendar, and measured time in word counts, cups of coffee, and the hours of sleep we could survive on. Despite this, we kept pushing forward, and today we finally sit here as university graduates. Today marks the closing of this chapter, but it also symbolises the beginning of a new adventure. Many of us may be feeling uncertain about what comes next, and that's understandable. because unlike a journal article, we can't just skip to the abstract to find out the results. The next stage of our life doesn't come with a preview, and it is up to us to experiment and create the results that we want to see. However, we carry with us critical thinking, problem-solving skills, and perhaps most importantly, resilience. These are the tools that will guide us in the next stage of our lives, even when the outcome is unknown. One of the best pieces of advice I received during my time at UOW was from a special supervisor who said, "There will always be times in life when, despite the best planning, things require a big push to get done." And I think we can all understand this now and what it means to keep going, even when you're running on caffeine and sheer willpower. We've all made those silent pushes, from cancelling plans to staying up until 4 a.m. to get an assignment done. It is easy to overlook these moments, and they won't appear on your transcript, but they are proof of your hard work and resilience. So take a moment now to thank yourself for everything you have done to get here today. As we enter the world outside of the University of Wollongong, we carry with us this resilience, but also the inspiration of those who shaped our experience. Like the journal article I mentioned, our journey has, of course, been peer-reviewed. Our success has undoubtedly been shaped through the guidance, support, and collective wisdom of our teachers, peers, family, and friends. On behalf of my fellow graduates, I would like to extend our sincere thanks to the University of Wollongong, our teachers, staff members, and fellow students who made our academic experience nothing short of extraordinary. Your dedication to our learning has brought us here today, and the values you have shared with us will continue to inspire us daily. I would also like to extend our heartfelt thanks to Professor Colin Wadroff for the thoughtful and inspiring message you shared with us today. We are grateful for the wisdom you have imparted, and we will remember your words as we step into this next chapter of our lives. Now, I would like to invite all graduates to please stand if you are able. Let's turn to our family, friends, and loved ones in the audience. This journey wouldn't have been possible without your unwavering encouragement, support, and belief in us. Graduates, please join me in giving them a warm round of applause to extend our wholehearted thank you. Thank you. You may be seated. Finally, to my fellow graduates, congratulations. As we step into this next adventure, we carry with us not only our degrees, but also the power to shape the future. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Thank you, Carly. Graduates, family, friends and colleagues, we are coming close to the end of our ceremony today. We'll now share our graduation video, which hopefully encourages you all to reflect on the infinite moments that have led to where you are sitting today.
Everything we've done has led towards today. But graduation seems singular. After all, it's one day, one degree, one end and one beginning. Think about it this way though. If we divide today by 4 years,
or 5 years,
or 3 years,
or 8 years,
the equation becomes clearer. Because today isn't just an event or a graduation or a moment of change. It's what we've created through 24 subjects.
11 all-nighters.
357 books read.
54 5,000-word essays.
40 monologues critiqued.
154 films watched.
and 4 films made.
Let's be real though, our experience is way bigger than just the classroom. You've got to factor in
665 hypotheses,
6 heated dramas,
2 semesters abroad, 5 new cultures experienced,
12 concerts attended,
843 waves ridden,
169 hours lounging around,
17 dance parties,
2 major heartbreaks,
and more lifelong friendships than we can count.
When we take those experiences, the long days, late nights and early mornings into the equation, we realise that graduation at the University of Wollongong isn't just some singular thing.
that it's a transition from finding our purpose
to changing our world with the purpose we found. That our passport to the future has been stamped
with the mark of a globally respected education.
And most importantly, we realise the moments that led up to this are
a tapestry,
a symphony,
an equation,
a 65,000-year-old history.
We realise that though today is a single moment, graduation is much bigger than any one day. Because, like an algorithm made up of bits of code,
or a building built from many bricks,
or a community built from many different people, today is the result of our
experiments, experiences,
tests,
trials,
and victories.
So that's what we celebrate today. Not the cap, not the gown, but the infinite number of moments we shared at the University of Wollongong.
I'll now call on the Chancellor to close proceedings.
Well, as we come to the end of our proceedings, but before we close, could I ask our graduates to remain seated while the rest of our audience stands if you can, and we will give the graduates a hearty round of applause. Thank you very much. We feel incredibly proud, of course, to celebrate our graduates here today. And I'd like to warmly thank the students and staff who volunteered their time to assist with this wonderful celebration. Please join us outside for some refreshments. To leave the hall, our mace bearer will lead the academic procession, followed by the graduates, and then the VIPs, and then our ushers will help the rest of the audience leave by rows. So please stay in your seats until the ushers come to see you. Congratulations once again to our graduates. I now declare this ceremony closed.